Hi there crafters, it's Louise with you today. Welcome along to this video featuring the September 2024 Kitaholic Kits. Sometimes when a kit can be a little bit overwhelming, I like to go monochrome. So in today's video share, I'm actually going to focus on sort of this one color, and it's this bright sort of yellowy, I'm not going to call it orange, I'm going to call it yellowy mustard. And because we had the coordinating Vicky Bouton pen, I wanted to see if I could actually use that pen in a couple of different ways. So the first one is as a smooshed background, such as we use with the packaging technique. And I think this worked fabulously. I love the way that smushing looks. I think if you wanted to do this with multiple colors, they would blend quite nicely and you'd get a really interesting sort of background. The second way that I wanted to do this was to see if you could colour onto the stamps that we got in this month's kit and actually stamp that same colour as an overlay into the background. Now, fair warning in that I did not clean my stamp. I popped it aside while I continued to create, and I still have the yellow ink on the stamp and it will not come off. So being aware that the ink in the pens is permanent, and if you pop it on a stamp, it's going to stay there. Now, the final way that I thought about using these pens was as a splatter, and so I tried to use just the ink straight out of the pen. Sometimes you can get pens that are so liquidy that you shake them and the splatter gets on that background straight away, but with these particular pens I had to mix them with a little bit of water and just use my paintbrush to add some extra splatter around in my background. All right, so this I also had in mind was the journaling element of this particular layout, because these photos are actually of the kids enjoying the game Uno, or whatever you happen to call it in your particular household. I've written out some journaling, and it's all about the story of, at our life stage at the moment. The kids are just super enthused about, and it's like this constant thing. They're always asking to play, and we might play 3 or 4 games each night to see who's the winner. And the journaling element is a little bit part of the story. Master Zaleb likes to make up his own rules. He comes from school and tells us all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff that is simply not true, but we roll with it. I tend to win most of the time. I'm not a competitive person. I don't know what you're talking about, but definitely the fun game. And I wanted to sort of even just include a little bit of the fact that in one of these pictures, the boys have roped in their nan. She also likes to play games with them when they visit her. So quite a fun little story with this one in terms of recording that memory. Now, off camera, I always make sure that I stick down my stickers and thicker titles and all those bits and pieces. I just find that long term the adhesive does not last. So yes, the adhesive will stick initially to your page, but for me, I like to add that little bit of extra glue. I know that when I pull this layout from the album or open the album down the track, the glue is actually going to hold much better than the adhesive on the back of the actual stickers. So I am making a little cluster down the bottom. So I felt like I was quite heavy in the top section of this particular page. So, I had all my title and my journaling and my photos and lots of interesting elements right up the top. And I didn't have that sort of visual triangle. So to balance that out, I'm going to put the point of my triangle down the bottom in the form of this cluster. So it's going to be florals. I've got the little doily in there that came this month. I think it was just pure fluke that doily was the same colour as what I was using in my background, so very lucky in that sense. Finishing off my journaling, and then I sort of decide that the little cluster is not quite right at the bottom. That little gap, I like the way it looks. I like the florals poking out of the back. I like the a little banner, but I just needed something a little bit more. And of course we had the fabulous stamp set, so I'm going to just pop some black stamping around and then gather some items from my stash. And it's just a simple word title, so nothing too fancy, nothing too difficult that's going on here, simply just using what I have available to me to match up with this particular page. So that is my layout share for you today. I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are subscribed not only to Kitaholic Kits on YouTube, but pop over and join them as a subscriber of their kits. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching.